Hi there, it's Karen here from Turquoise Treasures. Welcome back to my channel and to working once more in my little paper bag journal. This is beginning to fill up quite nicely, and at the end of the last video we'd just finished making this little mini journal. I just remembered I was going to decorate this as well, wasn't I? So I think probably we should do a bit of that. But what I wanted to do, while I've got it in my head, I want to actually do a closure for the paper bag that it's going to sit in, just to keep it from slipping out, because it's quite a big opening. And I didn't really want to make this any fatter because actually it's going to take up a fair bit of room anyway. So that's as fat as I want it to go. So I'm just going to do a little closure, and I've been trying to think about what's the best way to do this. I had thought about putting in eyelets and doing some kind of tie, but I thought, well, then that would, every time I have to open it, I'd have to actually pull the whole thing out in order to get at it. So I didn't think that was ideal. So I think I've been hunting around in my stash, including things that I've already packed. I'm at that stage now with my packing where I've packed up probably more than half my craft room, and now I'm starting to pull things out again that I want to use. So that's what's been happening. So I thought what I'd do is I'm going to make my holes. I think I might just do 2 holes in at the same time. Hoping this is going to work out. Just on the smaller hole setting on my big bite. Just want to make sure that is what I want to do. I might just do I'm just wondering if that hole will be too big. Bear with me, I just need to check, because what I'm going to use, this is my thought, I've pulled out these brads. Now I've had these brads for no idea how old they are. I've had them for years. I don't even know if they were this yellow when I bought them. They may not have been. The price label was faded. I've had them for years, and as you can see, I've never even opened the packet. I'm surprised I've still got them, to be honest, because I had such a clear out. I was getting rid of loads of things, and anything that hadn't been used mostly went. But I think these were so small and so tucked away, I actually still have them. And now I found a use for them, so that's good. Or at least for one of them. I think what I want to do, and I just need to see how big the actual brad stems are, to see how big a hole I need to put them through. I think I want to use this one. I think that will go quite well. The others are got a bit too much yellow in them. I think the fact that there's more pink showing is the one I want to go for. So I'm just going to take it off its backing. I've got so many things I want to do still to this journal. I'm never going to get them all done in this video. I just have to keep ploughing on. I hope you're happy to bear with me on that. I will try and do a few other things in between. I've got other things I want to be doing, so I probably will have tucked in 1 or 2 other videos in between, just so that it's not just this all the time, because I'm sure you get bored with seeing the same thing all the time, and I get bored with doing the same thing all the time, but it's nice to come back to after a little break, isn't it? So I want to put that through there. Now I think that's quite a big brad, so I'm just going to mark where I want it with my pencil, which I can't see. I just had it just now. What did I do with it? I'm sure I put it back in my pot. I'm trying to keep things... There we are. It just got buried. Trying to keep things organised a little bit. So I don't want it too near the edge because it's such a big one. And is that more or less where I want it? That's kind of in the middle, isn't it? So if I do a hole there... And it may be that that's not the best place for the hole on the other side, so... But I think I will use my big bite to make the hole. Or shall I? No, maybe I'll just try and do it with my hole piercer. I've got this little board here, just right for this kind of thing. And... I've got my little hole puncher thingy, so I'll just pop that through. That's probably going to be a big enough hole. Maybe I don't need the big bite after all. I'm going to pop that there. There we are. Just flatten down the stems at the back. Not see them very well. There we are. I always find myself peering over the top of my glasses to see things. Okay, so I've got my brad in place, and the idea is I'm going to use some of this. I've got some of this baker's twine, which I've not used. I bought this from the range. It was pretty good price, and I haven't ever used it, so I thought the time I did. So I think the idea is I'm going to be able to wind it around like that. It's a case of how I fix it the other end. Yep, okay. I can always trim it. I'm going to cut more than I need. Just going to chop it there. My other idea was to try and do something with this beautiful piece of sari silk because I thought the colour was perfect, but I just wasn't sure how well that would, because that would involve making a hole and bringing it over and winding that around. So I'm just wondering, let me just try it before I commit to the other, to doing it with the other one, the other stuff. I'll just see if it would work with this. It's a bit, because it's so wide, I do wonder if I could actually cut it in half. I wonder if that would work, because it's quite a wide piece, and maybe just half of that would be enough, but it's just the colour's just so perfect. Maybe I'll try that. I have already done a knot, but it was going to be such a big knot. I thought it might actually make the journal a bit more bulky than it needs to be. So maybe what I need to do. I'm just trying to figure this out as I go along, really. Let's just try. See if I can cut this piece in half. I don't know whether it'll tear. It has been joined in the middle there, so I'll have to at least cut it there. Shall we try it? Hopefully it'll work. We will see. I do like this stuff. Let's see if it'll tear at least to where it's been joined to another piece. Seems to tear all right. Okay, that worked. Got a lot of strings now to be trimmed, but okay, maybe I'll try it with this then. I'm just trying to figure the best way to attach it. Let's just see if it will wind around. Now it's a bit narrower. It will just, I think, wind around like that. Oh, it's quite bulky still, but maybe it doesn't even need to go around twice. Maybe just going around like that would be sufficient, because that holds it, look. Right, okay, let's try this. Now, let's see, how's that going to, how small can I make it? I'm going to just try making a hole again with my little piercer, this piercing tool. Now let's try and get it lined up so I get it in the right place. Right, I just took the brad out so I could poke my pencil through the hole to make sure I lined it up properly. I couldn't think of any other way to make sure it was in the right place, but I'm not going to put this hole as far in as I did put this, as I put the hole for the brad, because it'll go too far in to the image on the other side. So I'm going to do it so that it's lined up but a little bit nearer the edge. Not a lot, just a little bit, so it's not too intruding too much on the image I have on the other side. So I'm just going to poke my hole through there. It may be that I end up using the Big Bite just because I can't get the hole big enough to feed the sari silk through, but I thought I'd try it. Right, let's see. Which end do I want to... I'll try feeding through this end. I'm going to get some tweezers handy because that might just help me to pull it through. Maybe I'll do it this way. I'm going to grab the sari silk with the tweezers, I think. See if I can just feed it through. No, I think I'm going to have to make a bigger hole. It's just not working. Okay. We now have a much neater hole, which might be easier to get this through. Ooh, that's not going to go through very easily, is it? Oh, maybe that's the place to... Right, I've got a natural stop there where the two pieces have been joined, so maybe rather than putting a knot, I'll be able to just trim it there, and maybe that'll hold it. So I need to use the slightly longer half, I think, give myself as much sari silk as possible, and see if it's long enough to wind around the brad. I think it might be. May not need a very big piece. Alright, just ignore that piece for a moment. Let's see if we can get it to close just with that piece. So I'm just going to pop my journal in. Grab my sari silk and just see how that works. Maybe even go around one more time. Make it nice and secure. How about that? It's bunched up a little bit where it's being held together, so maybe I've made it a bit too tight. But I think that's definitely long enough, so I'm going to trim this piece off. Then I don't have to make a knot, which is good, because I didn't really wanted to avoid that, but I didn't know how. Where's my scissors? I'll put them somewhere. Here they are. Right. Just pull this back through a little bit. And I can use that for a topper for a tag or something, can't I? Alright. I might just grab a piece of washi just to see if that'll hold down the other end, because it's going to flap about otherwise, isn't it? I don't know how well that'll hold, but I'll just washi tape that end down. See if you can see just inside there. You can see that? I don't know how well it'll hold, but I can come up with something else another time. All right, so I think I'm pretty happy with that. It's quite good to use something that you've had for years and years and finally find a use for. Find the perfect journal for it. Right, let's move on. Let's move on. Right, so, right, that is something else. Come back to that. So for this pocket here, I've already prepared, I've cut a piece of that Blue Fern Studios paper that had the, it's perfect on the front, really lovely in this journal, but the back was a bit too blue. So I've just cut a piece of avocado dyed paper to fit over the top, and this bottom bit is fine, so I'm just going to tear this roughly across. Make sure I do it. And because I don't mind that bottom piece showing, I think just a sort of rough cut, tear across would look quite good. And I'm just going to glue that on there. So let's do that. Right, let's make sure I get my spread it out. Lovely. And I'm going to keep, rather than making this into a tag shape, I think I might just keep it as a journal card. And around the corners. Still got this little pack of K & Company die cuts. I'm just wondering if there's anything in here that would work colour-wise. I'm not sure. There's a fair bit of pink. I did use some of these on one of my master boards. That's quite nice as far as the colour goes. And there's the rose in the background. Any more bits? Okay, just pull them all out, why not? Well, there's this, which is huge. Can't even tell which way up it's meant to go. That's a bit too much. This is quite delicate, this background, and I don't really want to cover it all. There's also a larger rose there. Okay, I might go back to this. Let's see if I've got any other bits that I can use. Got a few little die cuts and things that I've pulled out. It's a bit blue, a bit too much blue in that one. I Just see if I had to put some doilies around somewhere. What about a piece of avocado dyed doily? Just cut a piece off, I think, and see how it looks. I'm going to end up covering up my lovely roses at this rate, aren't I? I'd have different roses. No, I don't like that colour. I don't like that colour. Not those two colours together anyway. I have this. That doesn't really work either. Other one of the brown ones. Just trying to find a few different bits and pieces that might go on here. Do they go together? They kind of do. Colour's alright. Of labels here. More Tina stuff. Oh, I like that. Take that out. Take that out. Right, like that maybe. Would that colour go with this? Nope. Still doesn't go. Okay, that. I'm liking that. That's quite sweet. At the side there. And fancy label. Under there. Right, let's see. No, the colour doesn't really work, does it? Not quite. No, let's take this off a second. Well, I quite like that. Need another small. No. Little butterfly up the top there. Another little flower maybe down here. Or even smaller flower. Maybe over here. Are we going over the top a bit now? I'm not sure about this label. Something like that, I think. Might be okay. Okay, I'm going to glue down my doily and then I'll trim off the bit I don't need. I'm so sorry, I thought I turned my camera back on after I glued down the doily, but I seem to have pressed the button but it didn't work and I didn't notice. So all you've missed, it's not very much really, I put a little bit of pink lace behind here on this edge because I had a bit of the brown doily sticking out and I didn't like that edge. Glued this down and the butterfly. These are just things that you saw I was going to do. I've just gone ahead and glued them down, so you haven't missed much apart from my decision to add the lace. So I'll just carry on adding my little bits. Was it this one? No, it wasn't this one. It was this little flower here and a couple of little labels. So this little rose is from the Fussy Cut Roses kit by Pink Monarch Prints, I believe. I think I might just put one more little rose down here in that corner. I think that will be enough for this one, or apart from the little topper. Little rose in the corner there. And then I've got one of my little scraps of fabric that's been laying around. So I just thought I'd just pop this on the top here. Make sure I've got the right way around, yes. think I will just sew around this as well. Well, it's not very central, is it? So I was trying to avoid the butterfly, but it does look a bit odd from the other side, so I might just have to move it over a little bit. Sometimes you're better off doing it from the plain side, and then you're not distracted by trying to avoid things. Let's just check now if that's a bit more central. That looks a bit better. Right, I'll just sew around that and then we'll come back. Right, so I've sewn around that card, and I just did a little zigzag across the bottom because it was looking a little plain down there. And it's all inked around and ready to go in the journal. So let's pop it straight in. Hope it fits now. I did measure it originally, yes. Phew, we're all good. It's going in. There we go. And just doing that bit of stitching, make sure that the topper is nice and secure. The other thing I did while I was off camera, actually I'm wondering now if this would look better with just looking at that, would look better with an eyelet on there. So I may come back and do that another time. But what I did do was I added this little key to it, little key charm. I'd thought about doing that earlier and then I'd forgotten about it. I've got this little pack of little key charms that I bought from Amazon ages ago. I haven't used many of them. They're just knocking around in my box. So I pulled one out and I thought, well, that looked quite sweet because it's sort of the key to the pocket, isn't it? You know, so I thought I might do that. But I think possibly, I don't know whether I need to put an eyelet on there. Well, maybe it's all right. Probably a bit late to worry about that now, but anyway, let's just wind that around. I haven't put the journal back in just because it is a tendency to be a bit bulky with it in there, and I'll add it in when we finish doing everything else. I'm going to come back to these little pockets because I've got a few things that I can use for those, some of the cut-offs that I've got. So what I have been doing is just cutting down my masterboards for some of these pockets so that I haven't got to do all that thinking and planning and cutting down on camera, just because it takes me a few minutes just to decide which bit and how to cut it and things like this. And I just thought I think that was half of a longer piece. So, I thought, well, if I'd had the right piece to go in the right way round, well, this is a side one, so it could have gone in that way round, but because I had a piece that was this wide, I haven't done anything other than trim it down, and I've got the other piece on my pile. I think that will look quite nice in there. So I think what I will do, this doesn't need a lot of extra finishing really, other than to round the corners, of course. I might just sew around this one as well. Right, let's have a look at this. So I could add a little something here. Doesn't need a lot. I've got a few bits and pieces in this little dish. Let's see if I can find something adorable to go on there. Got lots of flowers. I think maybe I need a lady, I think. I do. What have I done with my box? There we are. I'm going to pull out one of these, either one of these Artie Mays beauties. I like this one, I think. Or I have these, which are Tina's. Let's see which looks best. So that does pull in the colour, doesn't it? And is probably, possibly the right era for the boot. Not sure. Alternatively, I've got her. She may be a bit, may not be the right era. I'm not sure. I don't really know about these things. But I have a feeling that just works a bit better. Right. Just one moment, I've got somebody at the door. Right. Yeah, sorry about that. That was my Amazon delivery with my new little handbag for the wedding, so that was exciting. I haven't looked at it yet. But the other thing that was exciting, and I know this is only you guys will appreciate this, it came in one of the Amazon paper bags, which I've never received before. I've always had things come in cardboard sleeves or boxes. I've never actually had the Amazon paper bag, which I've seen other people use to make paper bag journals. So now I've got one, and I can, I might make another paper bag journal at some point in the future, because I've enjoyed making this and I have lots more paper bags. So one of these days I'll make another one. Anyway, let's get on with this one, because it's taken quite a while. Right, I've got a piece of coffee dyed cheesecloth. I think that might just go nicely behind there. So I'm just going to trim that, and then I'll fray it up a bit. I just need to straighten it up a little bit on this side because it's bulging a bit here, and then I'll do a bit of teasing out of the fibres to fray it up a little bit. So if this video is coming out kind of towards the middle of October, which I suspect it might even be in the latter half of October, I'm filming ahead, and then I'm messing about with the schedule, so I'm kind of might be pushing some of the paper bag journal videos back a little bit and inserting some others in between that I haven't made yet. So it is possible that this might come out quite near the wedding, which is quite near the end of October. So I'm not cutting things fine by just buying my handbag. I'm filming about quite a few weeks ahead at the moment, or at least it might. I don't know when this one's going to come out, so I don't know how far ahead I am, but I am still in September. Having said that, everybody have managed to get their outfits. The bride, the groom, the bridesmaids, me. We all we've had our outfits for some time. The one person who left his outfit to the last minute, or till very, very recently, like yesterday, was my husband. Quite an important job, father of the bride, walking the bride down the aisle, or whatever passes for an aisle in the venue that we're using. But yeah, he left getting his suit rather on the late. I was just starting to get a little bit concerned about the suit issue. But it's all been sorted. We did finally get him a suit at the weekend, so phew, all is well. That's pretty typical for Richard. Just doesn't worry about things. Clothes are not something he's in the least bit interested in. But he did suddenly realise that he probably had to do something about it fairly soon, as he's quite a slim chap, so it's not always easy to get the right size for him. Particularly trousers. Trousers are always an issue. And in fact, we've had to order the trousers. We haven't actually got the right size. We've got a pair of trousers, which at a pinch might have to be taken in. But at least we can have something. But we're hoping that the ones we've ordered will come in time. Oh. The latest date we've been given for it to arrive is about a week before the wedding, so it's not comforting. but we're hoping they'll come a bit quicker than that. There's always somebody who leaves things to the last minute, isn't there? Right. Okay, I think I've messed about with that enough. Let's put this on. I like that, just with the little bits of soft frayed edges poking out around the sides. I just think it gives it that nice little softer look. Alright, do we need one more little flower or something? Got this butterfly sitting here. How would that look? Do I need some? Well, there's quite a lot of pink. I'm just thinking, do I need something a bit more pink on this corner? But actually, we're not lacking for pink on this page, are we? The other thing was... there we are. One of these sort of goldy coloured roses. These are all from Shabby Dabby Doodah. I think it's like an embellishment kit or ephemera kit or something, I'm not quite sure. It doesn't really show up at all, does it? Are there any more of these roses that would work? Which looks better? I think actually the butterfly shows up better. So I think that's what I'll put on there. I won't have it flapping. I won't leave the wings flapping at all because it's going in and out of a pocket. We don't want the wings to catch. What I might do, see if I've got any little... I might see if I've got some pink pearls that can just go down the body of the butterfly. And I do. How many do we want? 3, I think. Just put a little extra glue on here just to make sure they stick. There. They're not entirely straight. Right. Once again, I'm going to just quickly take this to the sewing machine and go round it. Right, so here's that little card, quite a big card, all just sewn around, just did a zigzag stitch on this one. It's all been backed already, so yeah, it's ready to go in. Let's pop that one into this pocket here. I think it's going to go in this way. I don't think I'm going to put a tab on this after all. I think it's fine, just go in there like that. Now I remembered when I was off camera doing the sewing that I was going to decorate the little journal that's going in the big pocket. So I thought we'd better just quickly do that and get that finished. So I just picked out a few things because I'm aware that time is getting a little tight. So I had that big piece of lace. So I cut a piece off of that. It's very pale pink, but it just tones in very well actually with the with the paper that I'm using here. So I'm going to just pop that on there, I think, just as a background. Not Fabri-Tac with this one, actually. I think I'm going to use some art glitter glue just because it's so fine. I think the Fabri-Tac is a bit on the heavy side. Right. That's the first layer. I'm just putting on the lace, and then the next layer I want to add is some book page. So I'm just going to put that on next. Which side? No, that must be the side for gluing, because the other side looks like I've inked it up a bit more than this. So let's just add this. I'm still sticking with the art glitter glue, but I'm going to have to use the Fabri-Tac in a minute, which at the moment is spilling out all over my desk, so I'm going to have to go and quickly stop that in a second. Let's just glue this on quick, and then go and deal with the Fabri-Tac. Okay. Yep, we have a Fabri-Tac fountain going on. So I'll be right back. Right, so that'll teach me to refill my bottle, won't it? It's just coming out everywhere. But I do need to use it now, because I'm going to my next little layer is going to be this pretty pink damask fabric that I've still got quite a bit of. So I pulled a bit more out because I just felt it needed a bit of colour on here, and the colour tones in quite well. Oh, before I do that, I wanted to pop something underneath there, didn't I? Okay, just got to quickly, I've got a little umbrella. I think I was just going to, no, maybe I'll tuck it on top. Maybe I'll put it on top of the fabric, that'll be fine. Okay, so that's just on there. And I'm sure you can guess what's coming next. One of my Shabby Dabby Doodah. Oh no, that wasn't what I picked. I thought I had a Shabby Dabby Doodah image sitting there, but actually no, I changed my mind. I decided to use one of these Artimaze beautiful ladies. Female Beauties or something, I think she calls them. So, but yeah, I thought it'd be quite nice to have one of these umbrellas. This is it. This is a Shabby Dabby Doodah umbrella, but it's from the Bluebirds and Blossoms kit. She does have these on an ephemera kit, I think, or something like that. But I also had them as part of the Bluebirds and Blossoms kit, so I just thought they'd go quite well with these ladies. So I'm just going to pop that behind her. Stick with the Fabri-Tac as I'm gluing onto fabric. Let's just check how that, I'll just pull it up a little bit more. Right, let's put her on. Oop. Right. I did wonder, I just came across this little bow that's been floating around for a while, so I might try and pop that on there. Let's put that on there first. Get it round the right way. That's the way. I thought I might just, maybe that would go there, or on top of the umbrella maybe. But there. Or underneath. Not quite sure. Might have looked better if there'd been more stem. I don't know. There. Kind of like it with the rest of the colours. It's just a case of which is the best position for it. There or there. No, I'm not sure about there. I think I might put it on there. So there it is, all finished, my little booklet. Yeah, I'm quite happy with how that's turned out. It's just a little bit on the front there that it needed. Right, so let's just have a quick look at what we finished off today, what we actually managed to achieve. So we did do the closure for the pocket that the booklet's going to go in. And there's the actual umbrella, and the other umbrella, slightly larger one. So actually, I hadn't even remembered that that's where it was. It's quite nice that they've gone on the same, you know, it kind of ties together. And then we've got this journal card here in this long pocket, and journal card in here. So there it is. I may still change my mind and put something on there as a to pull it out by, but for the moment I think I'll leave things as they are. So thank you very much for joining me today. I'm sorry we didn't get any further. Never seem to achieve as much as I would like, but we'll keep ploughing on. And please do join me again for the next one. Bye for now.